Hi there, welcome to Pilates Board Workout with Anne. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy to be playing with this new Pilates board of mine. I am a yoga teacher, so I am a teacher and instructor by nature. I've been trained to teach. So the number one rule when I teach, and frankly any class you take, whatever kind of class it is, whoever it's with, honor your body. So if something doesn't feel right, you want to do it differently, you want to modify, you want to stop, you do those things, okay? So please remember that. I am about safety and form and making sure that we don't do something to hurt ourselves. So I want that to be number one for you, for me, for everyone. So I recently got this Pilates board to help me with strength training. And I've been playing with it. I've been watching some videos. I've been coming up with my own workout. And this is my routine that I'm going to share with you that I've been doing. I've kind of been adding to it. So about the past month, I've been playing with this board, but I've been adding to it. And this is kind of where I am with my workout. I imagine it'll evolve once again. And maybe once I add extra stuff, I will do another video for you. So I hope that you enjoy this. I hope this works for you. I'd love to hear from you down below, comments, email, whatnot. So here's what my Pilates board came with, the actual board. I don't even know what all of these things are called. I call these cords. So these, whatever these are called, they go to the top of the board. I actually have not experimented with these, so we're not actually even going to be using them today, but that's what my board came with. A timer, and I will use the timer today. You don't need to keep track of time. I'll let you know how long we're going to go, and I'll use the timer for each thing that we do. I also got this like knee cushion, and frankly for me it doesn't work very well. It's just too small. There's nothing like wrong with it. So I actually use one of my yoga blankets to support my knees when I'm doing different exercises on my knees. So you could use a towel, another kind of blanket. If you like this, then definitely use it. But I do find as I'm moving, my knees shift and move, and sometimes I actually end up off of this. I do move on the blanket as well, but there's more space, so I like that better. So totally up to you. So I'm not gonna use this in our workout. You are welcome to do so. And then my board came with Pilates socks. So at first I didn't use them. It has like the little nubbies on them, right? So that helps you to not slide around. And I didn't use them at first, and then I realized some of the things I was doing with my feet here, maybe wasn't as safe. It was easier to slip. So that's up to you, right? You decide for yourself first. So for a couple of the things that we're gonna do, I am gonna put my socks on, and then I'll probably take them off because I just don't love wearing socks when I'm doing this kind of workout, but I think they are a good idea and safe. So the Pilates board actual workout time, I've timed it at about 15 minutes. So we're gonna do arms, we're gonna do hips, we're gonna do legs, we're gonna do all sorts of things. We do take a little break between each exercise, and I have a warm up and a cool down. So just know that this is gonna be a little longer than 15 minutes. Maybe once you learn the different exercises, you can go on your own. I think my Greyhound Jordy is trying to come in, so I'm gonna let him in. He's gonna get on his bed. Hi, Jordy. He will not be doing the workout with us. He's kind of lazy. He's got his bed over there. So he'll likely just kind of chill out and let us work out. So, all right. So I'm gonna get all my stuff in place. I'm gonna move the things out of the way that I don't need. My water bottle nearby. I'm gonna tell you how long we're gonna go for things. You may wanna go for less time, for more time. You get to decide, right? So some of the stuff is still really challenging for me. So we wanna be mindful of that and honor maybe the time is too long and you wanna switch it up. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna do a little bit of warm up, not on the board. So I'm just gonna step away so that you can see me. Jordy's doing his nesting thing. He'll be done shortly. So let's just come to a standing position. If you'd rather sit, you're welcome to sit. I have my feet about hip distance apart, and I feel around for the bony protrusions. And if I could draw a line down my leg, the line would go right through the middle of my ankle. That's hip distance. Maybe you need to be a little wider or whatnot. So you find the best spot for you. And then we're gonna reach our arms down. We're gonna inhale up. and exhale down. So I know you can't see the top of my hand, so all I'm doing is inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's do that 2 more times. And your breath very likely will be different than mine. All right, let's do some shoulder rolls. So forward, up, back and down. Just go at a pace that feels good for you. Between the arm things that we do, I like to do a few shoulder rolls. And I've planned my workout to do something more for the upper body and something for the lower body. So one section of the body gets a little rest in between. All right. So eventually we're gonna do a lunge on the board. So if you wanna be near a wall, that might be important. So without the wall or support, whether that's a piece of furniture or whatnot, you're also gonna challenge your balance, which is a good thing. But if you don't want to, or that's too challenging, you're worried about form, then use something so that you're not working on the balance. So I'm gonna come into a lunge. I'm gonna keep my left foot forward, and I'm gonna step my right foot back. And you can use your wall if you like. And I'm gonna press that back heel down to the mat. So we're gonna stretch out those muscles. We wanna make sure that our knee doesn't go forward of our ankle. So I see this a lot. We wanna stack our bones to keep us safe. So this is just to stretch. Nice. And then we'll step the right foot forward, and let's step the left foot back, coming into our lunge on this side. So really think about that back heel pressing down, your back leg, whoop, see, a little bouncy here. Back leg is strong and straight. Front knee is bent. If you're not sure if it's over your, if it's too far forward, right now I can't see my toes, and now I can. So that's a way to notice. If you have baggy pants on, that makes it harder to tell, but I'm really stretching and lengthening through that back leg. And then I'm gonna step my left foot forward, and then we're gonna come into what I call standing figure 4. So this also can be balance, or you can use support. So I mirror when I face the camera. So let's imagine that we're putting our weight onto our right leg, and we're gonna bend our left knee. And then let's cross our left foot over the right leg. This could be your standing figure 4. Think about moving that knee away, so like stretching and opening. If you're able to do more, you can start to bend your standing leg and bring your foot up on your thigh. I'm gonna sit back like I'm in a chair, and I'm flexing this foot. So I'm helping to stretch this hip open. Can hold on for balance. Stand up, and we'll do the second side. So coming back to that firm, grounded position, and then you'll lean your weight over to your left foot and leg, bend your right knee, cross over and check in. Maybe you're here and you're thinking about that knee moving away, or maybe you're able to cross your ankle over your knee and thigh, and then moving the knee. You could also help it, as long as you're not pushing on the knee, to help move your knee away so it's opening out to the side. This side is much more intense than the first side. All right, shake it out, maybe some shoulder rolls. So I'm gonna have my props and whatnot nearby. And like I said, I'm gonna run the timer, so you don't need to worry about that. So we're gonna do our warm up. So I'm gonna come to the back of my mat. I'm giving myself enough space. I'm gonna show you one, and then we can do it together. So we just push forward, the heels come off the mat. You decide how far you go, right? So if you're new at this and you just wanna go here, then you go there. You decide what's best for you. So we wanna hinge forward. You could even bend your knees a little bit to come down. Keep everything safe here. Hands here, and the snap is in place, so these move together. Gonna turn on my timer again, and here we go. We're gonna go for 2 minutes. If you need to take a break, take a break. If you can go faster and deeper than me, I would welcome you to do it. Whew. I think I mentioned that I bought this for strength training, and I'm definitely getting that. We got this. Feeling the burn. I feel like I'm on the spot. This is a lot harder than just doing it all by myself. We got 30 seconds left. Almost there. 15. And we're done. Whew. I'm gonna step my feet forward. Come on up. Maybe do some shoulder rolls. Shake out. Oh my. All right, so we're gonna do something with our knees down on the mat. So you can use padding. If you don't need padding, then you don't need to use it. But I prefer it. If you're on carpet, then maybe you don't need it either. Okay, we're gonna keep the snap in place. Oh, actually, I forgot. We're actually gonna do something different first. That's right, I changed this up at some point because my arms were really tired. So we're gonna do mountain climbers. Ooh. And those are intense. So the snap is actually not gonna be in place. We want the plates to move individually. So just be mindful when you move it. Make sure that you slide it all the way and you get it in that little slot, the little notch. And then the plates are able to move separately. So I can only do this for a minute. If you can go longer, awesome, keep going. I also don't really do a plank. I do more like a pike. So my butt's more up in the air because it's a lot on my arms. And this one, I'm really thinking more about the legs. This is important for me for the legs. So totally up to you. If you want to be more plank, do that. If you want to go longer than a minute, do that. But this is where I am right now. So get my little timer in place. Oh, this is where we want to put the socks on. Yes. So get these socks on, so I've got the nubbies, and then I really don't feel like my feet move around. Still have to be mindful. Safety. Okay, so I'm gonna get myself situated. I'm gonna get each foot on my plates. I kind of start in a squat. Hands, fingers spread nice and wide. I'm gonna start the timer, I'm gonna shift my feet back, and then I'm gonna start with my climb. And they're not very fast. You wanna go faster, go faster. You wanna be more in a plank, be more in a plank. We got this. One of my friends said that my mountain climbers are no joke. Okay, we're 30 seconds in, we got 30 to go. And we're there. Slowly come back. Whew. All right. I'm gonna leave my socks on. We're gonna do an arm thing and then another leg thing, and then I'm gonna take my socks off after that. Okay, so I got my blanket. I'm gonna put my snap back in place so that the plates move together. I'll show you the action we're gonna do. We're gonna come forward and hold for like a second and come back. I've been playing with this a little bit though. And I've been coming forward and then my arms go a little bit more forward. So you can decide where you wanna work with that. All right, are we ready? So So you basically want your knees kind of under your hips, so when you come forward, you're more in that plank version. So let's do it. Sometimes here I end up crossing my feet. Doesn't really matter. Whatever's comfortable for you. And again, you can go faster or slower. I used to teach indoor cycling classes, so basically spin is a trademarked name. And I taught 5 classes a week and talked the whole time, and now I'm like, how did I do that? 1 minute, 1 to go. Every once in a while, I adjust my knees as they start to slide farther back. All right, we're at 1:30, so we've got 30 more to go. Let's do 1 more. All right, awesome job. Put those handles down. Whew. Maybe you want to do a few shoulder rolls. Stand up and shake it all out. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Okay, so we're gonna do our lunges. So I know we're doing a lot of back and forth with the snap, but I just, I felt like this is the best way to go back and forth between arms and legs for me. So we don't want the plates to move together because we're just gonna use one at a time. My board keeps moving. So here's how I measure for my lunges. So right foot right in front of the right plate, left foot right in front of the left plate. So we're gonna start with our left foot forward and our right foot on the plate. So then I'm gonna step my left foot 1 foot forward. It might be different for you, so check in. And then I'm gonna use the wall so I can get my foot onto the plate. Whoops, I forgot the timer. It's behind me and that is not gonna do me any good here. So I'm gonna redo my setup. We're gonna have our foot on the plate. So I'm just gonna show you. So it's a lot of control. So it could be with the wall. We wanna keep our knee over our ankle as much as we can. It's okay if it's a little forward, but we don't wanna be like here. I mean, it's a lot easier to move this leg, right? But we want that control and that safety. So we're gonna go for 1 minute on each side. And I go pretty slow. Again, you can be holding on to something. Arms can be out, hands at hips, maybe up in the air. And I want control when I bring my leg forward and when I bring it back. Whew. And it is very balancy. All right, we're about, my leg is shaking halfway through on this first side. Oh. We got this. We got about 10 more seconds. Let's do 1 more. And come on back. Awesome. Okay, let's shake it out. Okay, second side. So we'll start with our feet right in front of the plates. Let's step that right foot forward, one footprint, or find the best spot for you. I'm gonna get my left foot onto the plate. I'm gonna get my timer ready, bend my front knee, and get that back leg moving. You know, I'm looking down at the timer on occasion, but really looking at the horizon is gonna help you with balance. Check in with your breathing. Sometimes we hold our breath when we do balance or when we do something intense. All right, we're halfway through. Whoo, shaky leg. All right, we got 15 seconds. Wow, I did this yesterday as well. We're almost there. Let's do one more. Awesome, come on back. Give it a good shake. Whew. Yeah, there you have some water again. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna take my socks off because I don't need them anymore. If you, like, later we're gonna stand on the board, and if you feel like you need them for that, excuse me, I got a cough again. Then definitely keep them on or put them back on or whatnot. It's just hot. I live in Tucson, Arizona, so it's quite warm these days. So I don't have to wear socks. I don't. Okay, so we're gonna do another thing on our knees, arms. So I'm gonna get my padding once again. So the plates are gonna stay apart, so they move separately. So I'll show you the move we're gonna do. I've got my handles up, knees basically below my hips. I'm gonna move forward, and then we're gonna do that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then come back. So I usually count about 20 and then come back. So you can go at your own pace. You don't have to go with me. Maybe you do more, maybe do less, and maybe you go way faster than I do. So however it works for you, we're gonna do this for 2 minutes. So I'm gonna get my timer set. I've got my handles ready to go, and here we go. And I'm back and I'm forward. Remember, you can take a break whenever you need. Lost count. All right, we're at 1 minute. We've got 1 to go. Something else I forgot to say is maybe you go much deeper on this, right? I'm still a newbie here. I'm like, maybe one day I'll get longer in my plank. But wherever you are is good and awesome. And you're amazing, whatever you're doing. "15 seconds. Let's do one more. Awesome. All right, handles down. We're gonna put our snap in place. Maybe you wanna do some shoulder rolls, and I'm making sure that's in the notch so these plates are locked together. Whew. All right, so we are now gonna use the cords. So I'm gonna move my blanket out of the way, get some more water. So we're gonna do a standing hip leg thing, basically what I call it. And then we're gonna do some arm stuff. So, let's get our cords inserted in their little spots. Move my board a little bit. So, let's see, I'm gonna leave this one down. So I'm mirroring you once again. So I'm standing on my right leg and my left foot's gonna go in the strap. And it always takes me a few tries before I really get it in the spot I want it. So I have this foot turned a little bit. So I always start on this side because it helps me with aligning my foot so that when I do the second side, I kind of remember where I am. So I'm in between the handles and this little holdy notch thing. And I have my toes slightly turned up, nothing major, because eventually I'm gonna end up here. I'm gonna bend the standing leg a little bit and I'm gonna lift and lower. So we don't wanna like lean really far over. So it takes me like 2 or 3 rounds before I feel really secure. You know, if you don't wanna go that deep, you could stay here. I like it over here because the cord doesn't rub on the other foot. So we're gonna do 1 minute on each side. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna keep the timer going. We'll switch sides and we'll just keep going. All right, so we'll do the 2 minutes. All right. So I've got that standing knee bent and lifting and opening straight out from my hip, getting these hips and glutes going. Maybe you don't want to set your foot down. It's up to you. You can also be at a different angle. All right, we're about halfway done on this first side. $15 more seconds. Ooh, I was really leaning. It's easy to do, right? You want to isolate these muscles. So if I lean, then I'm just kind of swinging, right? Let's do 2 more. Yeah, all right, get that foot out. Turn the other way, so I've got my left foot a little turned out from the notch. Right foot comes into the strap. Then that standing leg, let's do it on the second side. So my foot never comes all the way down. The foot that's in the strap, that is. We got this. It's okay if you lean over a little bit, you just don't want to like use momentum to swing, right? So trying to isolate, even a standing leg is isolating. All right, we've got about 30 to go. Whew. About 10 more seconds. Let's do 1 more. Awesome. All right. Okay. So we're gonna do some arm stuff. I'm gonna show you the different things we're gonna do and then we're gonna go through it. We're gonna do 2 rounds. So it's gonna be 2 minutes total. So 4 different exercises and we'll do it twice. So we're first gonna do where we cross the cords. So I'm standing, making sure that my feet are pretty even on the cord or on the board so that I'm even with my cords. So I'm gonna cross. So the first round, notice which hand is forward, which hand and arm are the top one. And then we're just gonna pull, and we're gonna bend our elbows, trying to bring them up to our shoulders, okay? And then we're gonna uncross, and we're just gonna lift as high as you can. Yeah, shoulders, okay. And then I like to bend my knees a little bit when I do these because then I don't lock my knees and it gives me a little buoyancy. And then biceps, keeping our arms by our sides, bending that elbow to bring the handle up towards your shoulder. Biceps, all right. And then the last one is gonna be triceps. So I'm not at the side, so I want you to see. Triceps are about, you can start it here, but it's about the action here, right? So we want to isolate those triceps to fight the waggle. All right, are we ready? Take a break when you need to. Second round is going to be much more challenging than the first round. Get my timer ready, and here we go. Cross. Notice which hand and arm is on top. We're going to do about 30 seconds. There's a little bit of in-between time, so I'll just keep watch. Usually I count when I'm working out by myself, but that's hard to do. I'm also teaching and talking. And I've got my knees bent a little bit. My back is nice and long. Let's do one more. All right, we're gonna uncross, and we're gonna do our shoulders. Lift, arms are straight-ish, lifting and lowering. This one's squeaky over here. Whew. We got this. Let's do two more. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna bend my knees even a little more and kind of stick my butt back. That just kind of helps me to keep my back nice and long. And let's do our biceps. Lifting and lowering. Bending those elbows, bringing the handles up toward your shoulders. We got this. Building strong muscles. Let's do two more. All right, triceps. So start with your arms down, bending your elbows slightly, and then move your arms back, and you're gonna come to that bent arm position. Triceps. Whew. Almost done with our first round. Let's do two more. All right, let's take a moment. Whew. Maybe you want to set your straps down. Do some shoulder rolls. All right, let's see. Do you remember which one was on top? Let's go. Lift those elbows up toward the shoulders. Knees slightly bent. Feet even on your board, so you've got those markers you can check. Yeah. Strong arms, strong shoulders, strong back. Whew, much harder. Two more. All right, we're gonna uncross, lift and lower. Whew. Almost there. All right, biceps. Sitting back a little more and bringing those handles up toward my shoulders. need a WD-40 these. Let's do 2 more. All right, last one, triceps. Kick back. We're almost there. 5 more seconds. Let's do 2 more. Awesome. Set those down. Good job. Yeah, shoulder rolls. Maybe you just want to shake it out. We're going to do a little bit of a cool down, and then we're done. Awesome job. All right, I'm going to have a sip of water, and then we'll do our cool down. All right, I'm gonna stand. So in yoga, this is called Tadasana or mountain pose. So about my hip distance apart, spreading my toes, getting my feet as even as I can on the mat. And then arms down by your sides. Inhale up and exhale down. Go at your pace. Let's do 2 more after that. Last one. Let's bring our hands to our hips. You can bend your knees a little bit here. And then let's do a shoulder roll and bring our elbows behind us, like we're trying to have our elbows reach each other. So we're bringing our body into a back bend. And that might be enough for you here. You could imagine that you're lifting from your heart center to come a little more. And then I'm gonna add a neck stretch to it. So tilt your right ear toward your right shoulder. So you're like multitasking. If this is too much, you can come out and just do the neck stretch. We'll come back up and we'll tilt over to the left. So you're just tilting your ear, you're not raising your shoulder. We'll come back up, stand on up, shoulder roll. Awesome. All right, let's give ourselves a hug. So notice what arm's on top, give yourself a hug. So we want to imagine that our upper back can spread and widen. So like we're trying to pull our elbows apart, but they won't go anywhere. And then the top arm, reach it across. Bottom hand is going to guide that top arm to stretch and lengthen and reach. And you can stay centered with your head, or you can turn to look over that shoulder. Let's release, arms open. Other arm on top, give yourself a hug. Do that action like you're trying to pull your arms apart, but they stay together. So you're widening your shoulder blades, you're widening your collarbones. And then top arm is gonna reach across, bottom hand is gonna help to lengthen, to stretch. And breathing. We'll release, shake it out, shoulder rolls. All right, we're gonna do a lunge again, if that's okay. If you wanna skip it, skip it. I'm gonna use the wall in my mountain pose once again. Step the right foot back, bending my front knee. I'm really gonna press that heel down. Oop, that's a little too long. To stretch out. So lengthening, our hip, our glutes, the muscles in our legs. Step the back foot forward. Left foot back, coming into that lunge, holding on or not, really pressing through that back heel. And standing nice and tall. If this is a lot, if this is crunchy in your back, you can always hinge forward. All right, let's step that back foot forward. We're gonna do a thigh stretch. So you could use one of these to help you. Let me show you what we're gonna do. So back in that mountain pose, leaning over to one foot and leg and holding onto the other. Not everyone can do that, right? So you could use your strap to help. So it's a little stretchy, so you don't get as much of a stretch, but that's okay. You could also just be hands free and stretch that way. I can easily reach my foot. I don't want you to like do anything weird to your body. So if you can't hold onto your foot, use your strap, your cord, or just be hands-free. And I am doing a little balance here. I'm gonna slightly press my hips forward and try to move my knee back, even though it's not gonna go anywhere. I'm knee to knee right now. Step that foot down. We'll do the other side. So maybe one side you need support and the other side you don't. So once you're in place, knee to knee, slight press with the hips forward, lengthen through your spine, and stretch those thigh muscles. We'll release, shake it out. We're gonna do one more thing here. I'm gonna stay sideways. Feet can be hip distance apart or even wider, you decide. Let's bend our knees, hands on our hips. Let's tuck our chin so that we're not leading with our chin. We're gonna come into a forward fold. We're gonna fold and then bring our forearms to our thighs. They can stay there at our hips. And this might be where you wanna be today. You can let your head relax. If you can come down lower without like manipulating your body to get there, you could bring your hands to the mat or the floor, or even grasp opposite elbows. So you're just letting your spine drape over your thighs. Your knees can be more bent. You can stay more upright. If you grasp opposite elbows, bring the other arm on top. It's gonna feel weird. Let's bring our hands to our thighs. We're gonna sit our butt back even more. Lift our torso, lift our head and neck, and then straighten the legs. There we go, we are done. Awesome job. So thank you so much for joining me. If you wanna get in touch with me, my information will be below. You're welcome to comment. If you have suggestions or requests, I'd love to hear them as I continue to play with my Pilates board. I love this thing. I can't wait to figure out all the amazing things that it can do. So feel free to also check out all of my yoga classes. I have more than 50 classes on my YouTube channel and yoga videos, so this will go under that as well. Lots of classes to choose from. I teach for beginners and I teach for people who don't have yoga props. I'm a yoga prop user. I love them. I think they're really important, but we can use other things in our homes or even our own bodies as props. So I hope you are well and thank you for joining me today. So happy to have you here.